Hello everybody, my name is Zhao and today I will do my presentation on juice checking. So what is it? What is juice checking? Juice checking is a well-known cyber attack used to enable devices such as mobile, tablet, and laptop. It generally utilizes a charging port of a given device. Then whenever someone connect a given device to the system using this port, the attacker obtain all their personal information or may upload some malware onto the device. Therefore, it is necessary to detect and prevent these kind of attacks. There's two types of um, hijacking generally. There's data theft and malware installation. So how does this work? First, you will see three usual way of how hijacking work. One of them is have them at all the public, charging station or charging interface, or you also have some malware USB that have installed with malware instead. They also have malicious USB cable that used to charge your phone. That inside you can see over here that there is a little programmed microcontroller, and all of these, when they get connected to your device, for example, either your phone or your laptop, it can start to either malware installation into your device. It can also recording whatever is on your screen from your laptop, on your PC, or on your phone. It can also access your files in your laptop, PC, or also your photos and videos file from your phone. And after accessing all this information, they can store it back into a micro USB card that hidden inside, either USB on one side or hidden inside like an external memory installed with the public charging station itself, or it can be stored virtually into a web server onto a web server that the attacker built themselves. And for the SD card, for which is more locally, the people who installs a public charging station, for example, they can come and collect these as micro SD card whenever they want to. And with that being said, after collecting all this data from virtually, for example, they can also upload them to the network or like access them via on the network itself. So there's for usual threat type that we will be dealing with when it comes to juice checking is either side channel attacks, power analysis, digital signal processing, and man in the middle attacks. On the figure 3, you can see that there's high level juice checking charging attack for USB cable. Basically, what you can see is there's a VGA/USB conversion. What it does is, if you ever own like a very old model laptop, you know that if you connect the USB cable to from or like a VGA cable from your laptop towards a VGA cable on your monitor, it basically screen sharing whatever is on your screen for your laptop gonna be shared onto the monitors. So basically, it's the same type idea. It can also be like HDMI/USB for today world. And with that being said, this implementation help them to store whatever is on your screen recording everything that you do on your device. And at the back end, you also see that okay, there's a storage, there's processing unit within the and as a malicious charger itself. In the bottom part is more of like in-depth or a real setup of the juice checking filming charging station. So first thing we will talk about is charger serving. That is also undergoes a spectrum of juice checking, and that is how this is a quick look on how to implement this. You can see that they use a resistor, and this is very like a low cost data collection setup where you as a user can implement this, but usually they're gonna be implementing very stealthy, so you will not be able to see that this entire thing is actually inside, like the cable that connected to your phone. And as you can see, they're using a Wi-Fi enabled microcontroller and as well as high frequency analog to digital converter. And with this model specifically, they're trying to collect your power consumption as well as digital signal from your device, and then send it into like a custom web server in real time to process all these information. So for treasure surfing, what it does is basically they have a pre-trained model, like neural network model of like machine learning that basically trying to guess your passcode, like your pin pass for like either 4-digit pin or like 6-digit pin based on the power consumption or the signal from the device itself. In figure 2, you can see that on the red side, that basically when your device is off, you're not using them at all, and you can see that there's very little power leakage. Secondly, when it first turns on, you can see there's a shooting up on power or on voltage used when it's first coming on, and then it starts to stable down. And then afterward, that is when the lock screen is open. You can also see a shooting up on voltage consumption, and then it also starts to slowing and dropping down again. And then when first button is pressed for the pin code, you can also see that pattern, and second for blue and black. On figure 3, you can see that is they basically label the signal of different row, column, left and right, top and bottom of the pin pass. You know that the pin pass had like 9 digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and they basically label them according with the signal that they measure from the power from the voltage itself. And image A and B is just different based on the model or the phone that you're using. In this case, image A is a Motorola G4 with LCD screen, and image B is a Samsung Galaxy Nexus with AMOLED screen. So different type of device will also have different type of signal or power consumption. So what is treasure surfing? Treasure surfing is basically after they collect all of your data, they will start to predict what is it, like what would be your passcode. For example, in this case, you can see it on the image. There's like 9-digit passcode, and you will try to predict it based on the user or the training data set that you have. What they have right here is they figure out that there's like higher accuracy where with the more trial it goes, as well as the more user that they get to sign up for the data collection. So basically it just makes sense for every single tied up phone that is present. All of them will increase in accuracy for pin pass decoding with respect to the feature of the voltage used when there's more user data set. So always 5 users in this case always have the highest accuracy for all the type models. So another thing that we can talk about is USB Rubber Ducky. It is a device that looks like a regular USB flash drive, but it is a powerful tool for automate keystroke injection attack. It's designed to emulate a keyboard, then when plugged into any computer USB port, and automatically execute a pre-programmed set of keystroke at a speed much faster than possible by human. First of all, the attacker will program a malicious like payload into a micro SD card, and that micro SD card gonna get hidden inside the USB driver itself, as you can see over here on the picture. And after that, the attacker would try to either plug it into your computer, your laptop, your personal, or like an office computer or a company computer, and then whenever it's fire up, they would start the malware installation or start running the payload itself. And with that being said, it runs much faster than human typing. If you have 100% keyboard, for example, you will always see the cap lock line and the numblock line actually communicating with each other using binary. That's how they send the signal, and it's going very fast. However, on the other hand, if you have a mechanical keyboard like me that is only 70%, I would never know that such a thing is actually happening inside my computer. And afterward, the attacker will need to come to the location or like to the places to actually take out the USB to get access to the data, because there's no Wi-Fi or like wireless module for this. So another one that we will be talking today is the OMG cable. OMG cable is a sophisticated cybersecurity attack tool that appears and functions like a regular USB charging cable, but it has built-in hardware to facilitate various types of cyber attacks such as keystroke injection, network manipulation, and data exfiltration. And here's a detailed explanation of how the OMG cable works. As you can see on the image, you can see that there's embedded like microcontroller in before it connects to the port. And usually a charging cable like an USB A like this usually have either be just a power supply only, or it also a data transfer. And nowadays almost every single charging cable come with a data transfer function as well. So that sometimes when you plug your phone to charge it using your laptop or any computer, they will ask you, do you trust this device? Because you can actually transferring photo from your phone onto your computer and vice versa. So with that being said, these cable the OMG cable take advantage of this because it look exactly like any simple charging cable. And it also have like different type. It can have like lightning for iPhone, USB-C, or micro USB, I think, for Samsung, like the older version of Samsung. And there's the embedded microcontroller has wireless capability. With that being said, when you're using your phone while charging, for example, the attacker can be within approximately up to like 30 feet and connect to the Wi-Fi of the cable and actually uploading malware installation onto your phone or devices. This not just restricted to one payload, but it can get up to 200 payload, which you can see on the next slide. And the crazy thing about this is clearly that is completely like remote access and control of the attacker, that they don't need to be there. So in this slide, you can see clearly that the max payload speed is very high on the Elite 3, which is the generation that is basically right now. And it can actually have up to 200 slot for payload, meaning they can get up to like 200 malwares at the same time after they uploading to your computer, which is pretty crazy. For countermeasure, first is use personal charging cable. If you go traveling to the airport, bring your own charging cable. Don't use or connect to unknown USB onto your devices like laptop or PC, because they always can have like malicious software inside. Use personal power bank to charge your phone or your laptop when you go out if you need them, because sometimes the charging station like earlier that we speak about have some like hardware that is already like tampered with. Monitor applicants for unusual activity. For example, sometimes usually what attacker does is they're gonna try to see like when is a tab where you don't use your device, for example, and they start attacking, for example, in the um, USB like Ducky, for example, Rubber Ducky. But if you're just standing there, for example, you sometimes you might see, oh, your computer doing something weird, so that definitely has something to deal with maybe your cable or your USB, or you might need a system update, or actually bring it to a specialist. Mistrustful apps should be deleted and not installed again. So again, the payload can actually download like the malware installation onto your device. This including downloading like very like mistrustful app that if you saw it unspotted, you should immediately delete them. Also install suitable antivirus software. This also help with detecting all these malicious activity on your devices. The system software of mobile device should be updated regularly, such as your operating system. You also should be monitoring your power consumption, because every single thing that run hidden in your background always gonna consume a lot of power, and that's also a sign if you see maybe like your phone or your battery is actually always weak, or it is never going up to 100% while you're charging, which might be a very red flag that you have to look out for. And you can also just use power only cable for charging. If you don't plan to transferring any data from your laptop to your phone, you can always buy a power only cable for charging, and not like actual data and power transfer. You can also use a data blocker USB charging adapter. So what it does is it just completely, like if you have a data and power, you can just plug it into your um, data blocker USB, and it gonna start working just like a power only charging cable. You always need to keep your device software up to date to protect against vulnerability. For some future consideration, microcontroller of USB charging cable can be implemented with GSM modules, which means that it will start using cellular network to control and send command payload, instead of being limited to Wi-Fi proximity, which is basically very big. Like AT&T, T-Mobile has very large cellular network. And with that being said, it can control your device anywhere. It's also become easier access and mass production as time go, because everything going down in prices, and it can be easily distributed by unknown vendors. And they can also implement machine learning and AI in crafting these attacks. Like earlier when we're talking about the charger surfing, and that charger surfing is surprisingly the research was conducted in 2021, which is not very recent. And these are all my references. Thank you for listening.